minutes as we got that song stuck in my head.
Everything litty, you know. Run through the city.
Not that one.
Oh.
Which one?
It's the holiday season.
Oh, yeah.
The holiday
It's
season.
the holiday season.
Holiday season.
See, I don't even know the words of the song. I just say.
You just say what?
I don't even know what I said. I just say random Christmas carols.
It's the holidays.
Last night I was driving and I was so tired that I was saying Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Wow, that's what you were saying to stay awake?
That's awesome.
Because he was leading my car in the right direction in the foggy.
With his red nose?
Yeah.
That's nice.
Wow.
How did it start?
Rudolph
Then
the
one
Red.
foggy. And I was like,
Christmas
then
Eve.
one foggy Christmas.
Put this
Eve.
on top of your arm. Yeah.
And I kept on saying, then one foggy. Santa came to say,
Rudolph, with your nose so bright,
won't you fly
My
my
sleigh
sleigh
tonight.
And then Essen made it home.
Wait, that's
He made it home so safe,
Rudolph.
even though he was very sleepy.
I'm on
I was like, do I pull over right now? Just fall asleep?
I'm on iTunes. I'm gonna put in Rudolph and see if RUD. Yeah, so it is the first song that comes up, and we should be able to.
Is it gonna play?
It's playing. Can't play it on YouTube though. We'll get taken down.
Why?
Well, folks, as for the rest of the story, he went down in history. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer had a very shiny nose, and if you ever saw it, even say it glows. All of the other reindeer used to laugh and call him names.
It's not gonna go.
They never let poor Rudolph join anymore. See, I was going to say anymore. See, I think I used to add that. Any reindeer games. Then one foggy Christmas Eve.
Santa came to say.
Rudolph, with your nose so bright.
My post isn't gonna go.
Why?
Why?
Get
with
off
my
Wi-Fi.
Feed. No, I'm saying my post is too dark with my feed.
Well, that means you just have to go
Which
a
is
little bit.
upsetting.
You gotta go a little bit darker. Post another photo.
I know. Then.
Won't you? What were we saying? Was this a song we were trying to figure out the?
If you post me now, darker.
Dun dun dun.
Oh. I crack myself up sometimes.
So, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen?
As I was figuring out a post to picture
Okay.
the post and the
Really?
caption.
By the
Yes.
way, go ahead. Sorry,
Nothing. I was done.
I need to turn your. Oh, okay, I thought that's. I need to turn your. Yo, turn me up in the headphones.
Can you hear me now?
Turn me up in the headphones real quick.
Yo, turn me up in the headphones. All right.
Bring the beat in.
Drop. Yeah, bring the beat in. Gosh. All right, drop the bass.
Yeah.
Yo, take that bass line out.
All right. Yo, scratch everything. I'm just gonna go acapella. Everything you know. I'm serious. I saw Future. You should watch the documentary on Future.
Really?
Yeah. He it's on iTunes, and he was talking about how he raps. And people say, Future's a mumble rapper.
Yeah.
Well, but he's very rhythmic.
Yes.
Did you know? And by the way, he's in the studio every single day. So he plays a beat, and then he sits there and he says, most of the time I just mumble it. He's like, I get the cadence right.
Yes.
And then I'll add words.
Yes.
So he's like, they were showing a video of him. He was like, I got water in the Bentley, on a ladder. I was like, what? So then I tried it out one time, and it worked. I made a whole song.
Did you record it?
No, I didn't record it, but
Should have. I'd love to hear
it was pretty funny.
Actually, I'm supposed to record a Christmas album at some point. I probably should do that by next year.
By solo?
Yeah. I'm just gonna cover some songs.
That's so
Is it
fun.
gonna be a parody?
No parodies, just straight
Seriousness.
up serious songs.
Oh,
Rudolph
that would be
the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Please do the song like that. That'd be awesome.
Now, what if you had multiple levels? Like you also had like a supporting vocals along with it. So you just busted a Prince and you just sang the.
Oh
whole
no,
thing.
I can do all of that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can do that. I can do the what do they call it? The layers. I can do
That'd
the
be
layers. I can sing the
insane.
backgrounds. I can do that. It's a lot of work though, man. That's the thing. It's not really that. It's not. I mean,
Oh yeah,
I
that's what I'm
have that.
saying. That's why I was laughing.
yeah, I have the ability to sing all of the parts, but layering it in is like really the most difficult part. So,
Remove what?
Or vet post.
You joining
You're
in?
live. Oh, you can say hi.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just gotta go on that mic.
yeah,
Mom, you can join us.
and you.
That's okay.
Oh, you don't do well on the camera?
I'm shy.
Oh
This-
God.
This is live.
Goodbye.
This is live.
Wow.
I should. You need a red light.
We need the. What is it? What is it? What are
red
the
light.
lights? What
A
do they
red
say?
It says live. I think no
Live?
on air.
On
So-
air. There
on
you go.
air.
I can't remember that.
Yeah.
No, I
Wait.
don't want to take over you.
Is that Ace Ventura when it says "Don't walk in when the light is flashing," and then he waits?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Okay.
And they look at him like, "What?"
That is like the man. I
It's
tell you
comedy.
what,
That's good stuff.
it's so crazy how if Jim Carrey didn't exist, those
would've been-
movies would
yeah.
not exist.
And there's so many things that people talk about now, the major things. Like for instance, that's on air, right? Today I was watching football and they talk about Laces Out when he made Ace Ventura and the guy went insane because he missed a field goal in the championship in the Super Bowl.
Oh
So
right.
basically, dude missed a field goal in the Super Bowl, but he goes insane, mentally insane, and his whole thing is like Laces Out. And today during one of the games,
Oh,
he didn't have the lace out. But literally now they're talking about Laces Out, Ace Ventura. They're like, oh, what a Ace! That's a very nice. That's a cool reference. Like I actually thought about Ace Ventura.
yeah,
I will
that
never
is.
forget
Jim Carrey got
where
50
he
cents.
goes to Africa and he's inside the fake elephant.
Oh no, is it the elephant or a lion? It's an elephant.
It's
huh?
an elephant,
No,
I
a
think.
rhino. It's a
Rhino, yeah, yes. And he's I think he gets so hot that he gets naked and he's like sweating. And then he's like getting claustrophobic and he decides to come out the tiny little hole, which is
The
the
butthole.
rectum, yes.
Okay.
The rectum.
And he squeezes himself out of it first his finger.
He's
I'm
like-
glad you said rectum. That's more appropriate
And
for a
then
girl
it's
to
his
say.
hands. And then he like flips out.
I didn't see
Oh
this.
my
I don't
God.
Oh,
remember
you didn't
this.
see that when he's like,
Insane.
No.
Yes.
and they're like, oh my god, the rhino's having
Oh,
a
the
baby.
rhino's giving birth. Yeah, because there's like a tour going by, I'm pretty sure.
And then
Oh.
he comes out and he's like, and he comes out naked, and they're like, oh my god, take the kids. But what was funny about that was that the fan that turned off was a tiny little fan. that
Oh,
was, like,
yeah,
this
he had a
big.
little
And
fan.
he was like,
He was trying to like get it to go. Oh, that's
and
good.
it's
I was way too serious to watch those movies
and when
back
I,
then.
yeah, when I was young, I was
What
like
year was that?
probably 96.
But we watched it.
When I was young, I was like, wow, I can't believe that little fan like really cooled him off in the rhino.
Yeah, exactly. You realize, yeah.
Yeah, that
You
is
knew
true.
better.
You realize the when I realized there's a lot of movies I don't remember as well as I thought I did. And I
90.
rewatched them and I was like, wow, so
Yeah.
much better now. I actually understand what's going on.
You know what's so funny? That this category for this movie is crime thriller.
Oh, it is a crime thriller.
It is. That's
He's a
really
he's a
strange. I would
detective.
put that under comedy.
That is
though.
not a crime thriller.
Oh,
That's,
crime thriller.
Yeah.
Oh.
that's funny.
That is funny. Should be comedy.
Wait, you know, on IMDb, it only has 6.9 out of 10.
That's pretty good for a comedy. If you think about
Is it really?
Yeah, think about how many movies you think are hilarious. They're like knee. What is it? Knee slap.
I
Oh yeah, yeah.
had an Uber driver today that was an Eddie Murphy enthusiast.
Oh really?
Yes.
Enthusiast, like he.
Knew everything about him. He apparently Eddie Murphy's on the SNL tonight.
Oh, that's right. Not that I haven't watched SNL since he was on.
And he said it has been
Before.
like 30 years since he last was on it, and he like started SNL. He like made it really
Yeah.
famous.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's telling me all about it. Told me all the movies he needs. I was like, oh my god, I've seen Beverly Hills Cop. And he's like, yes.
Yeah.
He's like, you need to see Coming to America, Searching Places. He was super excited about SNL tonight because Eddie Murphy's gonna be on.
Oh, I should watch
Honestly, Eddie Murphy has some pretty amazing movies, and it's kind of sad that the movies that we have seen aren't the movies that
Like,
he's really known for.
The
'Cause
Haunted-
we
no.
know him for like what?
I know him for the
Dr.
Haunted
Dolittle?
Mansion,
that.
which is a children's movie, basically.
Did he even do Dr. Dolittle?
Yeah, he did
what
it.
is that?
Okay, Haunted Mansion was a fantastic.
Hanson
movie.
was honestly really
It
good.
was
Yeah.
fantastic.
And they have a Disney ride for that. Now I'm pretty sure.
That was like my first scary movie. That's such a good idea. It's like, oh, my first scary movie is gonna be a Disney movie.
It was good.
Well, you guys. So, so first of all, I haven't watched Saturday Night Live since Eddie Murphy was on Saturday Night Live. I've tried to watch it, and in my opinion, it's just mostly horrible.
The humor's different.
Yeah. So I mean, so you can imagine baseline expectation for me
It's Eddie Murphy.
is Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
And now he's on it again.
Right.
That's
yeah.
exciting.
Yeah. Well, he's not on it.
Which
He's
is a
just
bit
hosting it.
difficult because that's like Kevin Hart being on SNL.
But if
It's
Yeah.
like Kevin Hart, Jim Carrey, and all of them.
What do you mean? Oh, you like starting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
because I mean, right now you have, or Trevor Noah even too. It's like the top. He was the number one comedian at the time. I mean, the dude would sell out anything.
Oh, there's never been anything like him. Even Kevin Hart's not like him.
Eddie
And
Murphy.
he was
Well,
he was in his 20s. He was
When-
like 22 when he did Beverly Hills Cop.
We need to watch
or,
Beverly Hills Cop again.
What's his first
He was
movie?
22.
Not Beverly Hills Cop.
Damn, I had to get to work.
What's the detective movie? Not detective, where he was a prisoner. 48 Hours. I think he was 22
Oh, he
years
told
old.
me 48 Hours is his bread and butter was 48 Hours in Beverly Hills Cop. I need to see 48 Hours. I need to see Beverly Hills Cop again because I don't remember much of it.
I saw Beverly Hills Cop. It was great.
I just remember I watched it with Dad a few years
Well,
ago.
What was his one with when he had the alien baby? Was that
So, well, let me tell you this. So
Sixth Element?
who?
Was that him?
The Fifth Element?
Yeah, was that him?
No, that was Bruce Willis. Oh no, that was Chris Tucker.
Mm.
Wow, I never even watched that movie because it was just so dumb. And but then I don't know, I didn't like it.
But then you watched it and it was better.
Yeah.
Perception back in the day, right?
That's funny.
Was
Yeah.
it really Chris Tucker? I just don't remember.
Yeah,
Chris
I think
Tucker was Rush Hour, right?
yeah, I'm pretty sure Chris Tucker played like a weird character in Fifth Element. The
That
first,
would, see, that would
Don't
do
you
well
understand
now.
the
though.
words that are coming out of my mouth?
which says?
That would do pretty well now. Fifth
I
Element.
think so.
You could make it into a nice movie, TV show. But now you have an audience for everything. Back then, you had to be part of a
Specific
specific
to one.
system. Yeah, you know.
This
kinda
is
terrible.
true.
So that's probably why
Yes,
comedy was
it's
so good
true.
back then. Because everyone had to find it funny,
Right.
which is hard to do.
Right. Well, that's the thing about nowadays. Yeah, you don't. I mean, there's so many fringe audiences. There's so many niche audiences. Like you know, like that's so true what you just said. Like
Yeah.
everybody had to. Everybody
it.
thought Eddie Murphy was funny, whereas a lot of people. Don't get me wrong. A lot of people think Kevin Hart is funny, but I think if you think about saturation of the populace that thought Eddie Murphy was funny compared to Kevin Hart, it's a significant difference.
Well, you know, also access to information plays a big part. So there was a time where you only could watch Eddie Murphy, and that was the only thing you could watch.
Right.
Now people can shut off Kevin Hart,
That's true.
you know, because you have, but he probably has the same amount of fans or more fans because anyone can watch YouTube. But I mean, when his special came on Comedy Central when I was like 13, I've never laughed so hard in my life. It was like 12:30, and all of a sudden he comes on, and I cracked up so hard that I think I almost I hurt my stomach. I remember it was like I was at someone's house and I was having a tournament, and he literally like talks about I was a freshman, I think. And he was like, when old people fall, they fall so slow. It's like, ah. And he'd be like, oh, you gonna get up? Yeah, you good? But
That's funny. They do fall slow,
yeah,
and they almost fall like babies. What do they say? Once a man, twice a child. So
Yeah,
that's-
and,
that's
he,
good.
and the way he was describing that was so funny. I remember cracking up, just being like, "Wow, this is the funniest thing ever."
Yeah. It's so weird how that we have this set up. So if you look at the camera, like we're all on the edges of the camera of the frame, and there's all this space in the center
Yes.
here unused. But I mean, it's just how we have to reconfigure the microphones and stuff for next time.
But you know what's crazy? This dude looks like he has a skull face.
Yeah, with the terrible.
Looks like he's Pirates of the Caribbean.
I had a quick question about the comedy thing. Would you guys go and see a comedy in theater now, or would you wait for it to come and watch it in your home?
Like
Any comedy,
a stand-up comedy,
no, like comedy movie.
like Jumanji.
Yes.
Yes, but that's different. I'm thinking.
Like, give me an
I'm saying
example.
that I'm saying I wouldn't go see a comedy in theaters. Like I want to see a good movie
Question.
in theaters.
Question.
I'd rather wait for the
You
comedy
know why?
in my house.
Have you seen The Hangover?
I have not.
Well, go ahead. Well, I would say the reason why that is, and this is why your mom always tries to get me to watch romantic comedies. The 99.9% of romantic comedies are horrible.
And
Now, when they're good, they're amazing,
Yeah.
but most of them are bad because people just don't know how to make a good movie anymore. Like Love Actually, or I think it was Love Actually, was a great movie.
Is that the one where they had I think I watched it recently
No.
with 4 different stories going on?
I think so, yeah.
I think I just
Valentine's
watched
Day is the same way.
I watched Valentine's Day too, and I
Now, question. Now, do we think maybe that's because we can compare movies to food, right? So, for instance, I was going to say tacos, but tacos is actually a pretty good thing. But then again, when a taco's bad, I don't really like a taco because I have good standards. Now, conchas, that's a good one, right? You give me a bad concha or a good concha or a really, really good concha, I'm going to love it, right? And I'm always going to recommend conchas to somebody. But if someone doesn't like conchas, Mexican candy, or not Mexican, Mexican bread, they're only going to want the very best concha in order to like it. So I think that's the same thing with movies. Some people's, tolerance to terrible romantic comedies are higher than others because they just love what that's about. You throw some lasers and people from outer space saying some funny stuff and someone's arms get chopped off. Like, the tolerance is a lot higher than most people.
Huh. Yeah, that's true. Also, they're just looking for something warm and fuzzy, and I'm looking for quality, I think.
It's like I want to feel
Yeah.
like I experienced something.
I want to cry.
Saw new places.
I like
don't
when
know.
I cry.
I love movies. I love them.
Nothing's
And
worse
I
than
think
being
about
in
how
an
they're made when I'm watching them, which kind of ruins it for me, honestly. Like if there's a big explosion, I'm like, wow, they had I don't think in my head, oh my god, there was a big explosion. I think, how did they do that in the movie? Like they had to create that on a set and do the explosion.
No,
Right.
you don't believe it, but those things are huge. Like, they're real.
I know. And then I think about a specific scene in The Hunger Games, which is such a long movie a while ago. But there's a scene where Katniss gets blisters on her skin and she has to go into a pond in order to relieve them. And she's like in agonizing pain, like screeching and screaming. And I'm thinking to myself, she had to do that in front of a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Like she wasn't in actual agonizing pain and she was moaning and screaming. And that was in front of so many cameras and she had to make it real. And I think about that in the movie.
Well,
Yeah.
not
And I
only
take
that,
away
she,
the movie experience for me. But
she probably did it 10 times.
yeah, she probably did it.
They're like, I want to see more pain in the left arm.
Exactly, and I think about she had to do that whole act that whole thing out. Crazy.
Yeah. I think when you become a good actor, though, you don't even recognize that those people are there.
Yeah.
You actually get
It's
into
like
it,
it's
though.
like right now, we're all connected talking.
Mhm.
If there were people outside, we would notice them in the beginning, and then after a while, they would just go away.
So that's what the Today Show is like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I mean, you do have to focus. If you're focusing on the people, then you really lose your connection
To the
in
character.
this environment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Eddie Murphy was 21 years old when he did Trading Places. 21. And I read something the other day that he was the number one movie star for 9 or 10 years straight.
Dang. To put that in perspective, The Weeknd only hit Billboard 100 probably I want to say 4 years ago. 4 years ago, right?
Mhm.
And he's done it like consistently since then. He dropped his first album 10 years ago.
Wow.
10,
Yeah, maybe 9. I think it's 9, but yeah, 10 years ago.
which was House of Balloons.
House of Balloons Thursday, and then Echoes of Silence, and then he did the trilogy, which was out like I think my senior year in high school.
10 years ago.
And then so it was at 2014.
It was
So like it
10?
was like 2000. Yeah,
What's
that's
that?
why no one was like
You were 13. Did you start? When did you start listening to him?
14.
14.
Wow. I wouldn't have guessed that. I would have said 5 years.
What?
That he dropped his first album.
That makes
5
sense,
years.
though,
I mean,
because
if,
I
like just off
remember
the top of
listening
my
to
head, I would
Well,
have said.
yeah, because and then think about it. I was listening, and what's even crazier? This is wild. Spotify. If you think about Spotify, so think about when I was in high school,
Right.
and we were listening to House of Balloons on. We were listening to House of Balloons on CD. The
Right.
CD I
Oh,
burned
wow.
because he didn't even have an album. Like it was, you could only get it on SoundCloud, but at the time, like he had specific websites where you could download it.
Mm.
So he was one of the first
Crazy.
ones where he would download the album from his website, and I was listening to it on CD. We didn't even have it on iTunes or anything.
Wow. So you actually do you remember CDs?
I had CDs for the car.
Okay,
And
so
my
you
radio
do
in my
remember
house,
them.
in the house. Yeah.
So basically, the next generation after you, like, so the girl you babysit, like, don't say her name, she's never seen a CD,
I don't think so.
and she never will see a
No,
CD.
they use Alexa for music.
Yeah, I don't trust it.
Alexa, play me
I mean, it doesn't matter.
The
if-
Knowing by The Weeknd. I mean, you can say, but I don't have Hey Siri set up. I think I have it on that one.
I do, and the only reason I do is for driving.
It doesn't really
Hey,
matter
Siri?
if you don't.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't. So that hey Siri, shuffle,
I don't
play.
care. I left
This artist.
Alexa on in my or on in my home, just because I was like, whatever, they can listen to my roommates.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird, and they're definitely listening. And Edward Snowden, uncovered the fact that they're listening, and
Oh, everyone that works there knows they're listening. But I mean, just think about it. Now, there's an issue with personalization when I think personalization goes a little bit too far when it personalizes like your opinions on things. Now, when you're able to just do certain things or more things because you have access to more of, like, for instance, like you can turn off the lights or you can like turn something on. You can do more.
I love all of that. That's all great. I just don't like the fact that they're going to be using that information against people in the future. I don't like that, and I don't like the fact that if they're gonna record they're gonna record your personal life and personal information, then they shouldn't have been doing it in secret. They should have told people, and so people can know that there's a spy inside their homes, so they wouldn't say certain things and do certain things.
You know, it's scary. Like, I wonder if they have a button where it just can delete everything. I mean, they might. They probably should. I mean, there's a purge button in like servers, but if we get conquered,
Okay.
they would have all your information.
Yeah.
So, in the United States, we have the Constitution, right? So technically, you have rights. But if you were to get conquered by another force, and then they have all your information, like, not only are you conquered, they literally know your whole life.
Right.
And they can even do something as hard as being like, you can't have anything that you like personally.
Right. Well, that's the thing. Like the fact that they're going to be recording everything. I mean, how many? You're not 100% okay with everything that you do, like everything that like all products, the way all companies are run, the way the country's run. Like there are things about the system. We'll just say the system of things that you don't like, right? And so you could essentially complain about a particular aspect.
And then die.
Right.
Yeah. What's something that you would complain about that would get you killed?
Well, I was.
in a utilitarian.
What is that? That freaked me out.
That's me. Sorry. I was like, we're gonna get killed.
In a wild country.
I don't. I'm like, don't we? Nothing's interesting enough for me. Like my average conversation for them to be like, oh, she needs to go.
Well,
Interesting. No,
apparently, I was listening to a guy maybe it was today, and he was saying he did some work in China, and he said that there's signs all over the place that what did he say? Basically, negative comments about the government will not be tolerated.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, this is what I was gonna talk about earlier. You guys need to look this up. They are doing a mass corral. They're corralling Muslims.
Oh, in China.
In China,
Yeah,
they've been doing it for a while, and they're putting them in concentration and work camps.
people are just disappearing.
Millions,
Yeah,
and they're just dying. This is the exact same thing that happened in Germany. And the sad part about it is like it's the same thing that happened where they were placing hatred on a specific group based on like certain acts that happen, acts of terrorism, and now no one cares. Same thing is happening in India. So the south of India has a lot of Muslims and people that practice Islam. And one of my friends says that you now have to declare your religion in order to get your citizenship in India.
Really?
Yeah, and they're trying to withhold citizenship from Muslims. And they're having protests, and they're sending live bullets into the mass protesters of Muslims.
Wow.
Isn't that wild?
it's terrible, and it's
They don't even have the one about India in the news.
yeah. I haven't heard about India. I just think it's
That's
terrible
sad.
overall, and unfortunately, all those sounds that you guys are dropping and doing, they're all being recorded.
So,
I mean, it's probably interesting, I guess, but
At least you know the microphones work.
yeah,
It sounds crazy.
Hello, are you there?
Oh, you should try that thing, yeah. It's crazy.
What is this?
You put it in front of your face and you blow.
What?
into
How
it.
do you say these? How do you say their names?
Oh wait, say it again.
I can't hear myself.
Secret documents reveal
Yeah,
how
let
China
me see.
mass detention camps work.
They're literally how it's
How do you
spelled.
how do you say it?
The Uyghurs.
Uyghurs.
Yeah. And one of my friends that I know that
They speak dominant Mandarin language,
yeah, they're fully Chinese.
follow strict rules on everything down to bathing, using the toilet, scores that determine if they. Oh no, that's about what's happening in the camps.
Oh yeah. So apparently those are the ones close to
Manner education is mandatory. I'm listening.
Mongolia.
Okay, makes sense.
No, by Sri Lanka. I'm sorry. And apparently, one of my friends is from China. She said that it's really, really hard to tame them.
Tim who?
She's like, it's really hard to control them. The government doesn't know what to do with them. And she even says Uyghurs, which is kind of crazy because that's like completely opposite of like what would be. It doesn't sound like it's Mandarin.
Right.
Interesting.
Well, I mean, I've seen a number of videos of people from those regions, and they actually they look a lot different than the average Chinese person.
Oh yeah, apparently they don't look any. They look more Russian.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah, because they're basically Siberian.
yeah.
That's crazy.
It says voluntary job training is the reason the Chinese government has given for detaining more than 1 million ethnic minorities, most of them Muslims.
Voluntary?
Million.
So let me tell you something. It's so hard to take care of 1 million people, especially in a confined area. So people they're probably just starving to death and dying, and it's sad.
How many people were detained in Germany? And let me tell you, when I took that train through Germany, yeah, there's no way in 1950, 1940, you're going to know that there's people being detained. You could hide 10 million people.
You wouldn't know.
It's just so big.
Yeah.
There could be 10 million people in the United States, and we would have no idea that they were there.
Well, there's 10 million people in probably here. What was that noise?
I don't know. That sounded crazy. Did you hear that?
I did. It sounded like a drill.
Oh, I heard it.
Whoa.
Who's
Somebody's Somebody's.
Who's tapping in?
That's so weird. Well, it has to be because we're talking. Wow, that's so crazy sounding. Sorry.
Wait, tell us what you want to say, Delilah.
Well, anyway, that's really bad. And this is the thing about life.
Terrible. And on top of it, it's in a country that we're like,
We're
Is-
doing
it's so hard to talk about because it's one of our competitors, and you feel like you get to a point where everyone should be treated equally, and you got 1 million people being killed. By the way, it started as work camps. The Jewish people started as work camps,
yeah, that's true.
labor camps. It also started, and this is the thing, it also started that you had to, in order to gain citizenship, you had to label yourself by the religion that you were.
Right.
So that's what's happening in India.
Well, technically, we're tolerating it as people, as the world group.
Yeah.
That's really strange. That noise that's happening. I don't know what that could be. Sounds like. I mean, it's definitely some kind of feedback from some interference.
Oh, I know what it is.
What?
The electricity on the cord is, take this cord off that cord.
Let's see if it is. You might be right. Look at that, boy. Brilliant. Nope.
Nope.
Well, that's weird. I don't know if we should.
That was so long. I'm like,
I
who's
feel-
doing it?
You know what I feel like? I feel like there's like aliens trying to.
Go through my ear.
Yes,
Oh, like the drilling?
like they're trying to take over our brains.
Or maybe we just enter the matrix.
Yeah. Do you know that there are people? Have you heard this? That people are. Well, Elon Musk feels this way too. That we're in a
Simulation.
Simulation?
Yeah.
People are watching us.
Simulation.
I've thought about that a lot of times.
Right, like we are. This is a program. It's a computer generated
I
program.
would not doubt it.
Computer generated? I thought that they were like
would
'Cause-
not
in a little box.
So
doubt
I'm gonna see if I can get it right. He said that the way is it augmented reality
Yeah.
is now. So remember we went to, you were at Rob's house when we were using his machine where we put what is it called, VR,
VR.
virtual reality.
I was there. I don't remember that, but we used VR at school.
Okay, so they're saying that the VR technology is going to be so significant, so good in the future that you're not going to be able to tell the difference between reality and not. And
I hate that.
and they're saying that if you think about how far we've progressed in the last 20 years technologically, that if you think about 100 years in the future, or even 1,000 years in the future, and if there's a more advanced group of beings that they could have technology that is so
Undeniable.
like you wouldn't be able to differentiate between reality and
That's cool until you
a
jump
program.
off a building.
I'm just gonna say, whenever I have the VR goggles on, I feel like I could be like murdered at any second.
yeah, like you
Because
don't
you
feel
can't
safe.
see anything, and you
Yeah.
can't hear anything because the goggles are right in your ears. That someone could just come and stab my neck. I would
Yeah.
be dead, and I had no idea
Yeah,
that
I
they came into
I
the
don't
space
feel
I was.
so.
I don't feel safe in those.
We're very much alike. Yeah,
I'm like,
you definitely feel out of control.
yes.
Like you don't have any access
Like I
to your
can't
protection.
see anything. I can't hear anything. Someone
Murder
could
me.
Totally...
I'm going in. I'm fully invested in the VR.
Really?
All right, let's jump off the floor and see what happens.
You're into it?
Yeah. I like the fact that it's I like that I could fully focus and immerse myself in the experience.
Well, I don't need the VR I do isn't like I'm another person going through another life. It's like a technology thing we do for soccer.
What? You guys do VR in soccer?
Yeah, it's like a program that my coach got that has like it like trains your brain.
For?
So we like the first when you first go in, you have to watch
Wow, you sound so different when you talk on that side of the mic versus the other side.
this side versus this side.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
interesting. Wow.
Deeper on one side.
Yeah.
Hello. Okay.
It might be how you talk out of the side of your mouth.
So the first thing that you do is you look at. It gives you a pile of tennis balls,
Okay.
and it highlights 2 of them, and it shows you which the 2 that are highlighted. Then it takes it away, and then you have to follow them, and remember where they are. And then it goes up to 5 that you have to look at one time along the other 20, like in the 20. And so it like trains your brain to watch. So it's like good for peripheral vision and being able to
Okay.
focus. And then it has things that it's throwing at you that you have to hit the button, like reaction time as well as decision making while you're looking at the tennis balls and memorizing where they are.
That's fire.
Yes, we do that.
You probably could learn how to do positioning. Like, that's a good thing for positioning. Like if you did VR through Bluetooth and you did it on the field and you had the field as like you wouldn't even need people anymore. Like you need dummies, but now you just need a VR goggle and then you need a coach. You could be out there with your own coach that's literally like, okay, you go here, like in the event that 2 defenders come this way, like you make a peeling run like around the side.
Oh, well, she didn't get the employee to do that. Oh, I better go do that.
All right.
You guys chop it up. Don't say anything incriminating.
Okay. We don't do anything criminal.
I
Wow.
think it's these things.
That's what I was thinking too. Here, I'll unplug him. How you doing? My name's Charlemagne.
What were we saying?
Or maybe my name is
Well, when we were
Charlemagne.
first given the VR, like when our coach was telling us about it, I thought it was going to be like I was going to be on a virtual field, and there were going to be defenders coming at me, and there were going to be like decisions that I had to make, and that was not what had happened at all yet. So I was a little disappointed, but
It's probably kind of expensive.
it's really expensive. It's like a lot.
What to do to get that program?
Yeah.
Oh, there's a program.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, but what we do is I like it a lot.
Do you guys play games?
Within it?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like you can install Stream?
No. What?
Yeah, they have like games and stuff.
Oh, yeah. He has like there are things that you can go on.
Like, can you play like
Extreme Roller Coaster?
Fruit Slicer?
I think so. I've never done it.
Fruit Ninja?
You can like do Netflix and everything.
You
on
never
there.
even thought to do Fruit Ninja? Come on.
No, I am busy. I have things I have to get my 15 minutes in for that day, and then I have to go do stuff. I'm
Yeah,
supposed to do 3 sessions of 15 in a week.
I mean, yeah, I can see I was pretty busy in college. Yeah, I'm not that busy now. Nah, mostly it's like
Also, it hurt like you're tired by the end of the 15, so I'm not gonna be like I'm gonna play Fruit Ninja now.
tired.
Yeah, like my eyes hurt, my brain hurts. It's a lot of focus into looking at
What?
5 balls and having to memorize all of them because I have to pick 2.
Damn,
not worth
I wonder if you guys' grades will go up.
Maybe.
How long have you had it?
We had it in the spring of last year,
Oh,
and then he brought it back recently.
Definitely didn't work, huh?
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, so you're going to England. What are you most excited about?
I'm most excited about my first abroad trip. Never been out of the country. I don't really know what to expect. I'm trying to research about it and figure out what I should experience from that trip. My friend was telling me that London has crazy sneaker style.
Yeah, they have cool,
really cool sneaker
cool
places.
style, real cool style. I mean, they like clothing in general, but they do it in a different way. It's like they're ahead of the trend, but they kind of push it on some areas. Like they like their stuff real tight.
They like to what?
They like their stuff tight.
Tight fitting.
Yeah. So they will do something that's going to be in style, but they'll add it with something. So whatever transitions to New York is only like a taste of what they did in London. So for instance, like a big thing they were doing was like the fanny pack.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw that 2 years ago, and then it became like a huge fad. Like it came over here too, right?
Yeah.
It was a huge craze. Like everyone had a fanny pack.
In London.
Everyone.
That's so funny.
All the guys had a fanny pack, and the things the dudes were doing, like they're wearing a polo and like super tight, like super tight polo and like another jacket. A backpack was like a big thing. A fanny pack, and then
What's
like
the backpack?
and with skinny jeans and like dope sneakers.
Interesting.
And the biggest thing was like you can't show your socks.
Really?
Yeah, because I remember we were walking by and they made fun of us because we had our socks showing, and I was
That's
like, I'm
interesting.
sorry, brother, but I've been traveling for 6 months.
Someone I do know that is from that area never has his socks showing.
Well, I didn't think that these lights were really hot, but they are. It's warmer, much warmer over here than the rest of the store.
You might just having hot flashes.
Negative.
No, it's warm.
Exactly. We're gonna wrap it up because we're gonna go, but we'll talk a little bit longer, maybe another 5 minutes.
All right.
Oh, these are pretty loud. Wow. No wonder. My ears are very sensitive. My hearing is perfection.
I'm
My ears are sensitive too.
Yeah.
mine are sensitive, but I blast it when I'm at work, and they have to go like this.
Yeah, I'm the same. If I'm gonna listen to something, I need to hear every beat.
But the
in
sad
that.
part is I'm dancing every time, so I'm like coding, and I'm like,
They're like, that's it.
eh.
That's it.
And they start laughing too,
That's
smiling.
it.
So we were talking about Nia going on her first trip,
Oh, okay.
and I was writing it down. There's nothing like your first trip, because there's nothing like being abroad somewhere completely different for the first time, and then feeling it's like two things. It's the excitement of doing something new and then seeing something new, and then all of that wrapped into it all being new. So it's like a few things happening at once. So when you experience, it's rare that you'll have something that's like so new, right? Because like you always go to a new place, but you'll never go to a new place that's that different, that's that monumental of a step like that again. You know, maybe the next thing is like you go scuba diving, or you go like to
As we have this.
yeah, you go scuba diving, or you go to I don't know, like some crazy mountain, or maybe you go flying or something. And you go flying. That's something you always wanted to do, and then you see it. It's kind of like the first time you look outside an airplane.
Right.
Interesting.
And it's why, because like I didn't expect that it would be different than when I went the second time, and it totally was.
I'm afraid. One thing I'm afraid about is wanting to speak the accent
Really?
back to them. Yes, because I can do the accent, but I feel like that's really offensive.
Can you do the accent?
I can. I can do. The reason I can do it is because I had to do a skit for D-Task in middle
Really?
school. Yeah, and then
I had no idea you could
British accent.
do a British accent.
yeah,
What kind of British accent do you do?
I don't know. I might be a mix of a lot of different ones.
Really?
Yeah.
You should ask your British friends, because they all speak different.
I don't have any British friends.
Some are like yo.
She's like, I don't have any.
I have an Irish friend.
Yeah, that's
No, it's different. Because Nick, my buddies from
Although
Newcastle.
I know I'm gonna understand them really well because I watched Love Island. And for the first few episodes, it was really hard to understand them. But then I was on it, and I love the way they speak. It's so proper. I like how they use the word fancy. They're like, I fancy him. I'm like, that's such a good way to say that you like someone, but you don't like them. Like instead of saying I like him, you say I fancy him.
Yeah.
He's a proper man. That's what they say.
They don't all speak like that though. Like some people, like if you speak posh, you're posh. That's kind of how it is.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't
all the
realize
accents are different.
that until like I met all my British friends, and it's like he's like, oh, he's posh like. and
they're
he-
so judgmental.
he's like he's from the south. Well, yeah, they're
Judgmental is not the right word, but it's like social hierarchy based on your accent.
yeah. What's crazy about it is that they can be opinionated but still get along. I've never seen somebody like one of my friends is probably like if you were American, maybe like you come off as like the most like far right person,
Right.
but he really isn't. It's just how they have their opinions and they have their opinions about certain things, but like they can remove that themselves from that
Yeah.
everyday life and totally get along with other people.
I bet that's changing.
It is weird. Well, yeah. So when talking about like the Brexit thing and everything
Yeah,
like that,
yeah.
no, that side still comes out, but
Mhm.
it's still able to, you know, be a nice person in society, which
Right.
I find
What
crazy.
does that say? Is it battery or does it say?
Low battery, 20%.
All right. Well, let's. Shall we wrap it up?
All right, Neil, we got
The
it.
rapping show.
What are you saying?
Go. My outing. Thanks so much for listening. We will see you back
Actually, let me.
next
You guys
time.
keep talking.
You have a good radio voice.
Yeah.
A lot of people tell me I have a nice voice. Actually, somebody
Wow.
told me that they would listen to it to go to sleep. That it was very soothing.
You totally have that woman that played.
In
What
the
is it?
calm.
101 The Wave. Who's that?
Right. What is it? Smooth jazz.
Yeah. No. But there's a specific.
Rock.
There's a specific woman. The specific woman. It's currently 11:30 over here on the West Coast. We have a request from Jane. And for all the Bobs out there, just know that you got a special girl. She wants you to play this. And she's like, ding, ding. Oh, how I love you so much, and I can't wait to
Wow.
see you.
Thank you, Essen.
No, who is that? Who is that? The Wave. Dad.
Are you talking about the radio that would come on? Like what? I don't know what time.
Yeah,
that
it
would
came
be.
out of that. Hey, ladies and gentlemen.
No, I know what you're talking about. Specific radio.
My name is Cynthia.
There's a man too that said, "Hi everyone. It's 7 p.m. here on the West Coast. I'm about to play you some good rock." Wait, what are the genres of rock?
Classic rock.
Is it classic rock? that they play?
Alternative rock. Folk rock.
No, it is classic rock.
Hard rock.
It's definitely not hard.
And then you also have bluegrass. You got country music.
Country rock? No.
You have screamo, metal.
Oh, that's my favorite.
What else do we have?
Using that to put me to sleep.
Alternative techno,
Okay, so there's a lot.
rap,
Okay, we got it.
R&B, hip hop,
What does R&B stand for?
rhythm and blues.
Interesting. Makes sense.
Isn't it sad they used to put hip hop and R&B in the same category?
Hip hop.
It's so different. What is The Weeknd?
R&B.
Yes, he is.
He's R&B, yeah. I mean, he
R&B should not be the same as hip hop. That's
he
ridiculous.
used to rap.
Also, do they have? I feel like they put rap and hip hop. Is that really the same thing?
Yes,
Interesting.
but they just changed the category name.
Because now rap is in hip hop and R&B.
Yeah, they just changed it from rap to hip hop. It was almost like a progressive sort of
Interesting.
naming.
Huh.
I don't know why I don't know the reason why it was like that. I think.
Well, because there's
I
some
think
people that
rap
are
had a
rappers.
negative connotation, so
I'm
they
not a
just changed
rapper.
it to a
Hip
Super
hop
hot
yeah.
fire.
compared to country
But don't quote me on that.
rock.
We have to look up why they changed the name.
Why'd they get rid of the roll in rock and roll? And change it to classic rock.
Who knows? We'd have to that's a subject for another day.
See you next time.
Next time on Smooth Rock.
Catch us again
Next
at
time
5
on the
a.m.
Harris gig.
There's nothing like listening to a Harris
Good night,
voice at
everyone.
5 a.m. in the morning.
Good night.
Where did I
everyone.
have
hope
this?
that you
There we
have a
go.
good night's sleep
Wow, listen to that. Oh my
and
God.
enjoy the rest of your evening. Adios.
Journalism. You should be on radio.